On February 15th, 1991, a quiet Michigan road became the unlikely stage for a constitutional battle. Picture a dark, empty stretch of highway, the silence broken only by the sudden flash of police lights. A routine traffic stop, no drama, just a driver pulled over for a minor infraction. Rodney Knowles, the driver, expected a ticket and a warning. But this night would change the law for millions. The officer, following Michigan's procedures, issued a citation for speeding. Then, instead of letting Knowles go, the officer searched the entire car, including the trunk, without a warrant or consent. This wasn't a search for weapons in plain sight. It was a deep, warrantless search after a simple ticket. What seemed like a minor act would ignite a legal battle over the limits of police power. The question, can police search your car just because you got a ticket? That night, a simple traffic stop planted the seeds for a Supreme Court showdown. The answer would redefine the privacy rights of every American driver. And it all started on a cold, ordinary Michigan night. Rodney Knowles was just an ordinary guy, pulled over for speeding. He expected a ticket, not a life-changing legal fight. The officer wrote the citation, no arrest, just paperwork. But then, the officer decided to search Knowles's car, including the trunk. There was no probable cause, no arrest, just a routine ticket. Inside the trunk, the officer found marijuana. Suddenly, a minor traffic stop became a criminal case. The sequence was crucial. Stop, citation, search, then arrest. Only after the drugs were found. Knowles's legal challenge would focus on that search. Was it legal to search his car after only issuing a ticket? This wasn't about guilt or innocence. It was about the officer's authority. The case would question whether a simple citation could justify a full-blown search. Knowles's experience would soon become a national debate. His story was about to change the law for everyone, all because of what happened after a speeding ticket. Why did the officer think he could search Knowles's car after a ticket? Michigan law at the time allowed searches incident to citation, a twist on the usual rule. Normally, police can search you and your car only if you're arrested, to protect themselves or preserve evidence. But Michigan's law said if an officer could have arrested you, they could search you, even if they just gave you a ticket. This loophole let police search cars for minor violations without the safeguards of an actual arrest. It turned routine stops into fishing expeditions. A broken taillight or a missed signal could mean a full search of your car and belongings. The law blurred the line between a ticket and an arrest. The original reasons for search incident to arrest, officer safety and evidence, didn't really apply. Yet the power to search was there. Knowles's case would force the courts to confront this gray area. Was this loophole constitutional? The answer would affect every driver on the road. The heart of the case. Is a ticket the same as an arrest? Knowles's lawyers said no. A citation is just a warning and a fine, not a deprivation of liberty. Michigan argued that officer safety and evidence preservation still mattered, even during a ticket. But what evidence of speeding could be hidden in a trunk? The Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable searches. For decades, the Supreme Court said warrantless searches are only allowed in specific situations, like arrests. Expanding that to tickets would give police far more power, shrinking everyone's privacy. For Knowles, the stakes were clear. If the search was illegal, the evidence would be thrown out. His defense wasn't about the drugs. It was about the officer's right to search. The case became a test of a troubling legal loophole. The courts had to decide, does a ticket justify a search? The answer would set a national precedent. And it all came down to the difference between a citation and an arrest. After losing in Michigan's courts, Knowles took his fight to the U.S. Supreme Court. Lower courts had sided with the state, saying the search was legal under Michigan's law. But Knowles and his lawyers believed this violated a basic constitutional right. The Supreme Court only hears cases with big, unresolved questions, and this was one of them. The question, can police search your car after a ticket without an arrest? When the court agreed to hear Knowles's case, it signaled the issue was national in scope. On one side, Knowles arguing a citation isn't an arrest. On the other, the state, defending its law as necessary for police work. The outcome would affect every police officer and driver in America. The stage was set for a landmark decision. The stakes, the privacy of millions of Americans. The Supreme Court would have the final word, and the answer would change the law nationwide. The Supreme Court's decision in Knowles v. Iowa was unanimous. All 9 justices agreed. Searching a car after a ticket without an arrest violates the Fourth Amendment. The court rejected the state's arguments about officer safety and evidence. They said the risks during a ticket are not the same as during an arrest. Once a citation is issued, the officer's interaction is over. No need for a full search. And what evidence of speeding could possibly be in the trunk? The court drew a clear line. The power to search comes with an arrest, not a ticket. Michigan's law tried to have it both ways. Convenience of a ticket, power of an arrest. The justices said no. The Constitution requires a real distinction. An arrest is an arrest. A ticket is a ticket. Your rights depend on which one you get. The ruling set a new, nationwide standard for police searches. The Knowles decision changed the law across the country. The loophole allowing searches after tickets was closed for good. Police could no longer use minor citations as an excuse for full car searches. Departments had to update their policies overnight. The privacy of millions of drivers was restored. The Supreme Court reaffirmed that your car, and especially your trunk, remains private, even during a traffic stop. The ruling drew a bright line between a citation and an arrest. Knowles' case became a cornerstone of Fourth Amendment law. It's now taught to every law student and police recruit. The story proves that one person's fight can change the law for everyone. A routine traffic stop became a national victory for privacy. The Constitution's promise of security was made real, one ticket at a time. And it all started with Rodney Knowles on a cold Michigan night.